be in the building because I am going to commentate. We're going to talk about who has the best footwork. We're going to make sure that you guys understand how important it is to actually understand the ring like a champion does. But one thing that people don't understand when you're boxing against a fighter at this level and you don't have the experience that's required is that things happen to you that have not happened to you inside of the sport. And that is what happens when you get introduced to the higher levels. Great example when Floyd Mayweather told Robert Guerrero, you can talk all of this stuff now, but this will be your last payday. And guess what? It was his last payday. Not because he couldn't fight, but because he didn't understand that you were going to be introduced to something that you had never witnessed before. And that is the old adage. There are levels in boxing. But people don't realize when we say that it's not just talking, it's real. And when you fight, holla at me, chat. When you are a fighter, it's hard for you to see and understand that there's more to it than just what you're doing at the gym. Because what's happening is somebody else is at a gym doing some things that you do not understand. And that's what happens when you go into that fight and you start boxing against a guy and then he starts doing things to you. When you think about dirty boxing, when a guy literally can tap you on the inside of your defensive guard, open up the shot, hit you to the liver, and you didn't even know that that was a legal thing. But dirty boxing is totally legal. It's just doing things that are not conventional. So that's one of the main reasons I tell you, because you're learning drills and skills, it doesn't mean you're really mastering boxing, but what you are doing is you're getting ahead of somebody else. But at this level of boxing, when you see David Benavidez and you see Morrell, what you're witnessing then is the higher levels of the sport and what it offers. So when you see a guy hit you to the inside of the arm, inside of the elbow, and he's not doing it to score, he's doing it to open up your liver and then hit you with the clean liver shot. See, that's not a skill. That's what we call boxing craft. Cagey styles of boxing are what take you to that upper echelon of fighting. So when a guy is trying to defend you and he got solid defense, just like if you were fighting somebody like Floyd Mayweather and he got great defense, what you do is not try to beat on his offense. You have to learn how to do little things like when his hands is up. When you touch him on the top of the hand, his hand comes down. So you push his hand down, boom, and a short right hook. And that is what tricks people. Because when you at the professional level of boxing, we call it prize fighting. And see, my godfather is the #1 knockout artist in the world who've ever done it and laced them up. Archie Moore. Special shouts out to my sister. I love the fact that most people don't understand that when you're seeing this sport the way you are seeing it, you're watching a spectacle. So are you really taking notes? Chat, holla at me. Who's going to win this fight tonight? Who has the best footwork between these two? David Benavidez, who's collectively said, I am going to cut the ring off, walk the guy down the same way Julio Cesar Chavez did. I'm coming in squared up because I understand how to move my head. Or are you going to go to the Cuban footwork skill set? When you look at Morrell, chat, let me holler at you. When you look at somebody like Morrell, who's a Southie, go back to Zab Judah when he fought Floyd Mayweather. When you look at Zab Judah, he's moving around. He got those wheels. He's rotating and sliding around. So Floyd, although the greatest defensive fighter in boxing history, side of Purnell and Willie Pep, found a lot of trouble in those situations. And I'm going to explain to you when you implement craft in boxing. When a guy has something that you can't take away from him when he's on his full fuel tank. So Zab Judah is the quickest puncher that had power. What's up, champ? Check in and let me know where you're watching from, chat. Holla at your boy. When you start seeing a guy move around the ring like Zab do, and then pop, 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 pop. Next thing you know, you hit 10 times and they hard. See, you gotta learn how to implement craft. That's when craft comes in, right? Craft is what you do to take away that guy's skill set so that his advantage ends up becoming his disadvantage. So what happens by the fourth round, fifth round? Floyd starts walking towards him in the Philly shell and then in the pocket. See, he put his earmuffs on and knew that Zab's power was going to land on his glove. Chat, what fight have you seen a guy slowly breaking a fighter down over the course of the fight? Lost the first half of the fight, but then continually pressed the button and then ended up winning by KO, right? What fight have you seen? Go back to recent times where you saw the beginning of the fight and the guy was losing and you were like, oh man, and then all of a sudden the tide turned. See, what you watch then is someone who's playing chess, not checkers. And Floyd played chess, not checkers. So he collected the data. Boom. So he collected all the data and then he walked to him. And his uncle constantly said, walk to him, walk to him, walk that down, walk to him. And so when you walk to your opposition, you can strip him down because eventually his gas tank is going to start doing this. And we call that front running. And the guy who's collecting the data is only going to get stronger. Chris Bird did this exact same thing to many guys. Flint, Michigan's in the building. Took a guy, walk him down, strip him of all of his assets, and then start touching him. Boom. And then when he's hitting him, chat, holla at your boy. I see you. Let me see. Let me see what you say right there. Is your account? Nah. Yeah. I'm good. Thanks to you guys, we get paid for making sure that you guys get all the knowledge that you need. That's what we do. We make sure that we got you. So, nah, everything that those guys are doing in the moment of that is showing you that they understand fighting on an entirely different level. They don't come out and they're impatient. They don't come out and they rush things. They don't come out and try to throw all of their gas tank out. They know it's a 12-round fight, so prize fighting is different. So I know a lot of amateur boxers follow us in the level 1 and level 2 trainers, level 3 trainers. Y'all all are following. But I want you to realize fighting at that level, because I remember going into a fight and I was helping in Coach Emanuel Stewart when Klitschko was fighting against Tony Thompson. And so we had to go help Emanuel Stewart because he had Klitschko and Tony Thompson was a southpaw. Even though Tony Thompson's from the crib, the DMV, I had to help Manny because Manuel Stewart is a legend and he was respectful of our camp. Now, I was working as chief in our camp. My head coach had the relationship with Emanuel Stewart. So they connected and he said, hey, Emanuel Stewart needs us in camp. So we took 2 heavyweights there. Marinaccio and Hagler, not Marvelous Marvin Hagler, but John Hagler. He was 17-0, southpaw, slick. He looked like LL in the face, built like LL, but slick like Chris Bird. If y'all remember Chris Bird, slick southpaw, he was the exact same style, very quick, elusive, and so we sent him to camp. Our first guy, 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪, got sent home after the first day. He just didn't offer Klitschko up enough resistance. And that's what it's like at the highest level of boxing. When you think you're very decorated as an amateur and then you go into the pros, you win some fights, you think, okay, I got this. And then you get to a different level and you go to a style that you have not met, because that's what's going to happen. You're going to find guys that are refined at what they do, and you've not seen some of those tricks, because they're nothing but tricks on the internet. But they're nothing but real tricks when you go into the home of a professor of boxing. And when he got there, he was just surprised and had the most defense. What's up, chat? Control the pace. Yeah, that's good. I like that. What's your name, Crows? Yeah, man, tell me about where your boxing gym at. I like that. Yeah, you got to pace yourself. But when we got to John Hagler was a fighter that he didn't fight off of his back foot. He was a big cutie. He was 6'4", 244 pounds. All right. When I say he's built like LL, he really was built like LL, but he just had a very good athleticism look, very athletic looking, and just good looking in the ring. He understood, and boom, 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 he offered up Klitschko to smoke. So he got to stay the entire time. See, what y'all probably don't know about world championship prize fighting, that's an entirely different career, is that you have to earn every single day that you're in camp because you're being paid. So we were making $4,800 a day for the rounds that we put in. So if we put in 5 rounds, you're making $1,200 a round, right? And that's what happens when you're in high level boxing against real top pros, guys who are making millions, right? The sparring partners are making a ton of money. If you know how to manage it, and if you don't, and if you know somebody that is in this game and they don't know how to manage it, make sure you tell them to contact Master Boxing if you don't know how to manage your sparring, because you're supposed to be getting paid. Just like when the NFL football players are on the practice squad, they're making $11,000 to $20,000 a week. All right, can you imagine having a job that pays you almost $20,000 a week? That's what they get paid, right? They just practicing. You know what I'm saying? They don't even, and if they get actually called to play in a game, like that just happened like 2 weeks ago. A guy came off the practice squad and ended up getting a sack. So he gets bonuses. So you get that couple of $100,000 once you get on that NFL field. That money get real instantly. And if you do that in boxing, what you're learning to do is take it to the next level and start doing what we call building up your actual accolades and your assets. So when you're fighting against these guys in sparring, you got to bring your A-list. So if you don't have like books like this is the art of sparring. This is what you do. This is how you take the skills. Let me show you. This is how you take the certain particular skills into that camp for them, right? This is our book, right? This is one of our books. I've written 30 because I wrote a book after every major training camp. So that's what you do to take it into a gym, into a fight camp. So you're feeding everything that coach and that fighter needs. You don't just go in there off the little shit you know, because you don't know shit about boxing. You'll learn that when you get into a real training camp, because I done had so many situations where I saw something for the very first time after the fact that I thought I knew everything, right? And that's what will happen to you. Yo, bruh, I can't see the chat, but keep writing because I'm going to screenshot this. And hold on, let me make sure you keep it there. Don't keep writing because I'm going to make sure before I go out, I'm going to screenshot it. But you can follow the page on Master Boxing, at Master Boxing, or follow one of the links. I want to chat with you because if you're in a real fight game, I'm giving you game. And that's my job, is to make sure y'all learn, because I learned some shit. I've been in it for 4 decades. All I do now is show people what you don't see coming, because I didn't. I thought I knew everything. But man, I remember Coach Soul when we helped Hassan Rockman get ready for Klitschko, we went up there, he got, boy, beat the hell out of my heavyweight. When we talking about guys who done had over 20 fights, right? Don King was Donnell's promoter. So it ain't like dude ain't already, I mean, he had intercontinental titles already, WBC, right? So this ain't no joke, man. Like, you keep getting up there. Errol Spence thought he could beat Bud Crawford. Got up there and learned, I don't know shit about this style. It never stops. The levels never stop, because sometimes the level that you made it to, you made it there, but you haven't learned everything that's at that level. Setting cats up, going off of your back foot, learning how to dirty box, tactics, learning how to do skip work like we call the grunt walk, right? Jersey Joe Walcott stuff. You don't know how to do that stuff. You understand cross blocking, like the real principles behind cross blocking? Come on, J. Marie Moore, show up. That's my sister, my god sister, my godfather's Archie Moore, who invented cross blocking, the turtle shell. All right. So we ain't talking about credibility, like, cause it don't get no more credible than that. 141 knockouts. Nobody else in boxing history has done that. Understanding all of the tricks that come with that kind of skill set in the ring. That's me. Yeah, that's why I write all these books, so people will know. And we're just not out here talking on the internet. You know what I'm saying? I got a golden treasure of boxing knowledge. So if you are in that place, you're trying to get your fighters to the highest level and stay there. Like I told, hey, is H Money here? See, H Money's on Morrell's team that's fighting tonight. And I told him, you got to be careful. Your guy ain't had a lot of fights. And he's like, oh, we got it. So H Money, if you hop in, I ain't talking about you, but I told you, you can't just jump in there and you ain't had a lot of fights. And you going in there against a person that actually has fought a lot of times as a pro in the prize fighter levels of high level boxing. Because fighting somebody like Anthony Durrell, somebody like Caleb Plant, these guys can fight in the ring. Going up against Demetrius Andrade, man, these dudes can fight. And when you can beat those guys and stop them, man, you have learned some stuff that people who are just watching boxing with a naked eye can get it. They don't know what they're looking at. And that's what I'm going to call when I call the fight tonight. So if you're not following us right now, you better follow us right now and watch the fight. If you got a question that you want to ask me, go to the link in the description and go up to the website and make sure you connect and ask the question. Because tonight is going to be crazy and we're going to call this thing only the main event. So the moment the main event start, I'm going to hop on right here. If you want the best commentator in boxing that I've ever heard, and I mean this with all due respect to all of the great people who called it, was me, Eric A. Bradley, the real fight doctor. And the reason why is because I don't look at boxing through a lens. I look at boxing through a magnifying glass, a microscope. I see and I call things that you're not paying attention to. I promise you're going to hear a lot of stuff you've never heard before when you listen to me. And that's why I have to do it, so people who are actually calling fights, they can see that I talk about it from an entirely different stratosphere. And I'm not blowing my own horn, but I'm not going to not blow my own horn. When it comes down to calling this fight game, being a part of this fight game, and contributing to the game of boxing, I'm number one, bar none. Man, that means a lot to me and my legacy. So there's that. So if you haven't tuned in to watch how we break the fight down, tonight is your night. We're going to call the fight. I'm not going to stream the fight, but I'm going to call it. And if you want to watch some really, really dope shit, watch us tonight. And if you don't do anything else, make sure you continue to follow for more as we break the fight world down round by round. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. I see you guys came in and you kept it locked today. Thanks again. I'll see you guys tonight. Be blessed at God's speed. And let me know, who do you think gonna win the fight? I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to write. Come on, chat. Show up. Holla at your man. Show up, chat. Let me see my real ones here. Because we're gonna screenshot. I'm gonna screenshot everybody. So till next time, be blessed at God's speed. I love you guys, man. Boxing for